All right, baby. Hey, we're live here. Good to be back here on the HonkyTalk podcast. Every Monday, you know what it is. Big thanks, big shout out to the Sundown Tavern. And also, always make sure you go get your daily lunch special there. You're always saving Rustin one sandwich at a time. But today, we have a very special and we're honored to have this guest from the Two Warriors Meadery, Cameron Myers.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
Oh, man, it's good to be here. Good to be here. Well, we're here at your place. Tell us about Two Warriors. Do your thing, and then tell us about yourself and how'd you get into this? A mead? What is a mead? What is this?
Mead is actually it's a term that came from the Vikings. It's actually Mead, but the English bastardized it into mead, which they normally do. But mead or Mead is actually the Viking word for honey water. They didn't know what it was. They thought it was nectar of the gods. You ever heard that? They thought it was magic. And so this actually all got started at Friday Ellis's cigar shop back in 2016. It was Governor's at the time. And my business partner, actually, we were sitting around smoking cigars, and we were actually both keeping bees at the same time and didn't know it. And he said, he came in one day with some honey and was like, hey, do you want some honey? And I got these bees. And I said, no, I'm good. I have my own. And we got to talking. We go, we got all this extra honey. What do you want to do? And I said, you ever thought about making mead? Because my grandfather was from Norway. And he goes, how hard could it be? And that literally spawned into this. And so we started doing a lot of mead making at home, entering contests, using people up at the cigar shop as guinea pigs. And actually, when Friday started running for mayor, he came to us and said, guys, you got a business. I will say we were kind of bootlegging back then. And he goes, y'all got a business. Y'all need to take this business elsewhere. And so that's how this all got started. In 21, actually, we found the building that we're in right now. There's a building next to us, and we bought it in 21, was forced to buy it. The month after we bought it, it burned to the ground. And so we rebuilt it, and so we have a 5,000 square foot place here, 1/4 in the world with this mead right here, Odin's Love. This one right here, Odin's Love, 1/4 in the world with it. And outside of Louisiana, we're probably one of the biggest meaderies out there.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a very unique thing. We specialize in Louisiana honey, Louisiana fruits, and Louisiana veterans because me and my partner are both vets. And so a portion of everything we do goes to help local veterans here. And we believe in Louisiana so much that we partner with it's like farm to table, but with mead, honey wine.
So, honey wine, how do you, I guess you let the honey ferment?
Yeah, just like there's no grapes involved. You can make a grape mead. We don't do that. Instead of the sugars that the honey makes, the yeast attaches to that. Is a little bit different process, but it's literally the same thing as making wine.
Wow. How cool is that, though?
Yeah, that's good. I just tried that. Which one is this?
This is actually something new. This was a very limited batch. We partnered up with distillery Katie Ann down in New Iberia. They're the first bourbon distillery in Louisiana. And we got a barrel from them. They're bourbon called Cajun Cut. And we aged our blueberry wine for, I think, 8 months, and then sent the barrel back to him. And then he finished a bourbon with that. Like, we just released it the same week and sold out. So both of us are sold out. There was a very limited batch of 71 bottles. They were gone instantly, so we're going to do it bigger. We got a blackberry one rolling next. And but
Wow.
This is a very special mead, blueberry bourbon finished.
Blueberry bourbon finish.
Mm-hmm. Do you get the bourbon notes? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You can taste the bourbon.
It'll get you to where you're going.
Hey, that's all it's about. All right. So, but how long does like to make a batch, like, or say get a bottle this size? How long does that take as far as getting the honey in, doing the thing, letting it ferment? How long does that?
It's a 45-day turnover. The secondary aging stuff, and we make one that actually takes 6 months to make as well. It's a dessert. We have dry meads, fruit meads, and dessert meads. So that's each one has its own little thing, but it's generally about 45-day turnaround.
Wow, I would say that's pretty quick. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
and the cool thing is mead actually ages in the bottle. You know how they say wine ages and stuff?
Yeah.
They put them in barrels and stuff. The longer you keep the mead, the smoother and smoother it'll taste.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I think it's a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah.
Anybody want to be a mead person, a mod person?
Yeah, we do mead classes as well.
Oh, wow.
I think we do like one a quarter.
1 a quarter. You always think like on a Saturday or something.
It's on a Saturday. Actually, it's like $150 for 2 people. All you got to do is bring the fermenting bucket, and we'll do it, and you'll have like 25 bottles of mead.
Wow,
You learn how to make it.
we're about to get our own brand going.
Yeah, y'all can come and do a class.
We may do that. Bo, you want to go on a date?
Yeah, I like to learn how to make it. Last time I made any, it was on a drilling rig, and me and my rig manager, we took watermelon juice and yeast and put it in a 5-gallon water bucket, put it in the engine room, put a rubber glove on it, so after it sat there a while, it sucked it down in the bottle, and then it aired it up. I think it aired it up, then it sucked it in the bottle, and then it was done. He put it in water bottles, and I opened one, and you could hear it just sound like a Coke opening. Took about 3 shots of it, and I was like, I don't know where you learned to make this. It goes in prison, boy, toilet bowl wine.
A lot of people will use bread yeast. We actually like champagne yeast. Louisiana honey loves champagne yeast.
It just matches.
It
whatever
just matches whatever it is
wow.
we're doing. It creates something special. We specialize in historical meads, and so me and my partner were both stationed in Germany, and so that's where we got our taste for mead. It is a very unique and niche product, but we're growing. We like to partner with other people that has that same Louisiana culture.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. So you were a vet. What'd you do in the military?
Military police.
What branch?
I'm a giant. I was in the Army for 10 years.
Wow. So you got stationed over in Germany. What part?
I was in Heidelberg, which is the USAR headquarters, which is all of the European command for the Army was in Heidelberg. I don't think that's not there anymore, but yeah, I got to, as big as I am, they stuck me over there, and I was a general's bodyguard. I got to do a lot of cool things. We were deployed to Bosnia during that stuff in '96.
Oh, wow.
So I got to see all the world.
Sure. Well, what a cool thing. Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, my recruiter, Jim Lax, he's one of my friends on Facebook. He suckered me into being an MP. He asked me, so what do you want to be? I said, I want to be a game warden. And he goes, oh, we got the perfect job. It's called an MP. I was like, what's that? He goes, it's military police. You'll be a game warden in no time. And I was never a game warden.
Never.
So thank you, Jim. Appreciate you.
Yeah, big shout out to Jim. That's hilarious. Yeah, well, we do thank you on that.
Yeah.
Now, so I've noticed that he is a vet, and your partner, he's a vet
Yeah,
too,
he was
correct?
actually a helicopter pilot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a chief warrant officer, and he is exactly like if you ever watched the with the Vietnam one. Can I think of the name of the movie?
Forrest Gump.
No, it's the other one about We Were Soldiers. I
Oh, We
think.
Were
Yeah.
Soldiers?
Yeah, he is the quintessential chief warrant officer. Got the mustache and he's very quirky, but the dude makes amazing meat. He's a genius when it comes to that.
That's crazy. Now, look, I say Forrest Gump because that's one of my favorite movies of
a great
all time.
movie.
But it is, I love Braveheart too, but most of that's not even real. But still a great movie, like General Patterson said. He said it best. But I love that movie. But I bring all that up to say this. You got 2 vets on there, which hence two
warriors. Yeah.
Well, that's a cool backstory there.
Yeah.
That's the real deal.
And if you see our logo in the military, you have emblems like whatever your job is. Your MOS, you have your specialized. There's an emblem. Crossed pistols was military police. Crossed sabers was cavalry. So we just crossed our emblems.
That's right, because the modern day cavalry
Insignias,
now
yeah.
is helicopters.
Well, it's modern day cavalry is helicopters. So the sabers, and so we just crossed our insignias and rocked with it.
I like that. Now, is that a Thor hammer right there?
Yeah, that's Thor's hammer, Mjolnir in the background. So it kind of brings everything together.
That's great, man.
Pretty cool.
I've never been in a meadery before, so cheers to y'all on that, man. And thank you for letting us do this. Thank you
Sure,
for doing
yeah.
this,
We actually want to really highlight and promote this place. It's a this area. We got 2,500 square foot, and we want to be a place for people to any public event. We want to be a part of it.
Well, y'all are doing a good job. I see sometimes because we're right across the street from Traps, and Traps has live music and things like that. And I know I've come over here before and parked my vehicle and about to get out, and I look over there and look like a bunch of Vikings are out over here doing. So tell us about those events y'all do sometimes.
Yeah, so our big event is actually the week of Veterans Day. We do something, Louisiana's Viking Feast, and it's our charity event that all the proceeds go to help a local veterans charity, and it's all you can eat. We normally don't say it's all you can drink, but there's meat involved, And we have food, catered event, and all the proceeds go to help veterans charities. And we go do festivals as well. We just did the Peach Festival Saturday.
How was that? I heard. Well, I heard this year was the 75th, I believe. Wasn't it anniversary of the Peach Festival?
Yeah, we it was our biggest festival yet. So I think we did I think he told me it was like over 500, close to 500 bottles, which is crazy. We've never sold that much.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people there.
And
this
the
year.
peach one definitely was the winner this year.
So y'all had a peach mod?
Yeah, our peaches come from the Indian Harvest Village in Calhoun.
That's very cool.
Our blueberries come from Brown Blueberry Farm, and our honey comes out of Jonesboro and Delhi and just the North Louisiana.
That's really cool. Really cool. Well, congrats on the success at the Peach Festival.
Yeah, I think we do a lot of education there, and I think I talked for 12 hours without stopping. The line never stopped. By the end of it, I was like, "Here's your mead. Here's your," I was done.
Yeah.
Telling them all about it. Huh?
It's the same questions over and over.
So what is mead? Well.
That's why the whole mead and honey wine thing. We promote ourselves as Louisiana honey wine. The people who like mead will find us. So the other part is education. So that's why we call it Louisiana honey wine, because that's more palatable. People, you say mead, they think you're saying meat, and they're like, "Oh, we already ate." So that's why we do the Louisiana honey wine.
This is a fluid. It's a fluid. So successful Peach Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Then you also, a lot of people don't realize that you have you are a pretty diverse character. Not only are you like 8 foot tall. Look, we're sitting on big stool like chairs right now, and I'm just on the floor. So we can't always be that
scooch
tall.
down. I get you a child.
Can we get a
seat.
booster seat?
Booster seat.
Sir. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to kind of dive into. A lot of people may not realize really who you are and what you've done in regards to music.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll come back right after this break. Where it's HonkyTalk podcast brought to you by the Sundown Tavern, where it's
Honkies with a king.
All right, we're back here live here at the Two Warriors Meadery here in West Monroe, Louisiana. If you're not really sure exactly where it's at, if you know where Traps is, in West Monroe, it's right across the street in the parking lot. You can't miss it. Mm-hmm. Beautiful place inside. I'll be honest, the first time I've ever had a chance to come in here, because every time I'm over here, I'm always playing or something. I never could actually come in and kind of, nose around and find out what was going over here. But we're here with Cameron Myers, Two Warriors Meadery, and here with Bo Smith and Trey Gautreaux for the HonkyTalk podcast, baby. Woo-wee. All right, now, tell us kind of about your musical journey.
Yeah.
And we've spoke before briefly on how this music thing has kind of led you to be able to do things with Meads. I even think these are your cigars, correct?
Yes.
Cajun cut cigars.
Everything is connected.
See, okay, explain your music thing and then kind of how that has kind of evolved into.
I think that's probably the great
what do you like
starting
to do?
point. So I actually started playing music, and I was one of those guys who brought his guitar to high school, and I graduated in '95, went right into the military, still playing. I got back right around 2000, and got involved heavily in the music scene. Back then, the music scene was really, really awesome here. I was a bouncer at the HonkyTalk back in the day, HonkyTalk podcast, HonkyTalk podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and just getting to know the musicians, getting to know the industry. I worked at Ziegler's Music for a while with a lot of the James Cook, who's Luke Bryan's bass player, Derek Mixon, who is I guess Chris Stapleton's drummer. Got to know everybody. Started writing music, started recording with Mike McKenzie. That kicked off into doing some other things. I had a band, Mike Martinez. I don't know if you know him, the drummer, probably the best drummer in North Louisiana. We all put a group together, started playing live. And then I went back into the military for 5 years. And when I came back, the whole scene had changed. That's when I had met Laney Wilson. And Laney Wilson was working with Pete Bailey and the Cadillac Kings back in the day. And he was teaching her guitar. He still teaches guitar here in Monroe, great guitar teacher. And I got to know everybody and started working with Laney, songwriting. She's on my album that I cut. And so really just kind of learning the industry. Out of that, I went into the oil field. Did the oil field for a while. You know how that is. To support my guitar addiction, really, is what it was.
Yeah.
I have a big guitar collection. But recently, I've been really involved in helping artists achieve their goals. I'm a very goal-oriented person. Building brands, especially with the Meadery has helped a lot with that. But I really handpick artists that I want to work with, find their goals, get them to the places they want to be, get them in contact with the people that they want to be in contact with, and really help solidify their dream. Because, there was nobody like me back in the day when I got started. I had to really learn it all myself and get those connections and stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What was the band name that you had when you
when I started, it was
Yes.
the Cameron Myers Band. Yeah.
Okay.
We actually won the Colgate Country Showdown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was back in 2003 or 4.
So what's the name of the record you put out?
It's the Cameron Myers.
Okay.
Ruthless is the name of the album. Clayton Meza actually recorded it.
Wow,
And,
wow.
yeah, and then a lot of great musicians around here. Clayton pulled in a great bunch of artists to
Right.
work with. Mm-hmm.
What's the? Can they still find that?
Yeah,
Is that kind of
streaming.
creeping still?
Yeah, it's called Ruthless.
Okay.
Cameron Myers, Ruthless. Again, it's. I think it's as of now it's dated, but there's some really good tracks on there.
Can I put you on the spot?
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to play us a song when we get done with this?
Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to play any music right now. I'm not ready for that. I appreciate that. That is
All
really
right.
on the spot.
You have the want. Where's it at? Where's the want?
You don't want me playing right
All
now.
right. All right. So you were the band Ruthless, and you was doing some things, and you went back in the military, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And then when you got back out again, things that's right. You said things had changed. And
things have changed.
You're like, man. So you wanted to
I
be,
kind of felt like I missed my moment.
yeah. But then you were like, hey, I still want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like to me everybody. A lot of people don't realize this. Especially people that are not in any shape or form or fashion in the music business. People don't realize that there's a lot of you have the people that you see maybe singing these songs and that you see their name on the album or their name gets thrown out. But there's always a village almost, it seems, or at least 2 or 3 people, individuals, in some kind of capacity that help get them, or help shape
them.
the
Yeah.
artist, if you will, to get them to even be recognized, to be able to even have a chance to move up to that big, whatever type of stardom or career path. But they help kind of foster their
Sure, and
Their journey.
That's absolutely true. And I guess sometimes, like, I love Rick Rubin. I don't know if you know Rick Rubin. He did all the stuff with Def Jam, and he started Def Jam Records. Did a lot of stuff with Johnny Cash. He did all that stuff. He's just an influential guy. I love his stuff, and so like I believe that things present themselves to you at certain stages in your life. When I met Lainey, I knew she was going to be a superstar. I knew it immediately. Well, the same thing happened when I met this guy named Wyatt Jordan. He's here in West Monroe, Louisiana. He is really, he's kind of a lot like me. We fly underneath the radar, but he is one of the most talented songwriters I've ever met. He's current. He's writing things that have really breaks genres. And when I met him, he was young. He's actually 24 years old now. Been working for about 3 years, and I found, hey, you want to be a songwriter? Well, let's work on that. So I started really with his songwriting process and help him developing his songs and getting them out there to the artists. Independent artists is really who we focus on, is getting them good songs. He just broke 1 million streams last month with all of his songs. He's got the Copperhead Jones recorded 6 of his songs on his album. That thing is playing all over the world.
Now he's Copperhead's out of Texas.
Texas, yeah. And it's weird. Like I listened to the entire track. I was like, that's the single. That's the one that's going to hit. That's going to be your number 2, number 3. All 6 of his songs are really the ones that are the forefront of the album. It's crazy. Out of that, John Cott Band from Houston is doing 3 of Wyatt's songs. Leaf Shively helped write a song with Wyatt called Drive. And Leaf, that's like 360,000 streams right now.
And we're talking about the same. We're talking about Leaf Shively.
Yeah.
From Leaf Shively Band, but also with Steel
Records. Yeah. And so just getting to know everyone and getting back in the industry from this side, it really feels good. It's really more, I love the artistic part of it and just finding that groove. And so I help them really design their sound, develop them as an artist, and getting them to the next position they need to be to get their career going.
So, somebody that is, so I guess Wyatt has been your.
He's my protege.
Yeah, he'd been like your first kind of project to where you're like, you've really seen something like really come to fruition with him.
And because of that, I have other artists that want to work with me, and I really handpick who I want to work with. Micah Kennedy's the next one. The guy should be, as far as I know, he should be a superstar. His voice is incredible. He's got that Louisiana accent, and his songs are amazing. And I've just recently started working with him, and we're working on some projects for him. And a big thing, I don't know if you want to talk about the endorsement stuff, but
of course.
So I worked with Carl Malone for 4 years, running his alcohol and cigar company, and building brands, building cigars, and doing things with different artists. And so the whole thing that I use it for is to find artists to get them endorsement deals. In a sales thing, you want to make an artist look bigger than what they really are. And so you get these endorsement deals backing artists, and so the record labels and other distribution companies and stuff really take a look at that. Hey, they got the streams, they got the endorsement deals. These are the people I want to work with, especially White having 1 million streams.
Yeah.
As a songwriter, you're going to have artists who really want to tap into that.
With going back to White, with his millions of streams now, has he had people kind of out of the woodworks getting emails, or because there's people that keep up with this stuff that they're behind the scenes too,
and they talk.
Yeah, I wonder if you're free to talk about it. I don't know, but how many people, or not how many? What kind of recognition is he getting? Any recognition and making a buzz?
Yeah, So I will tell any artist, especially in North Louisiana, this one saying. It's a thing from the Bible. No man is a prophet in his hometown. Right? You have got to put yourself out there in different industry, in different parts of the country, to get your music out there. That's where it picks up. Because of that, yes, we have a lot of artists like the John Cott Band. He's out of Houston, wants White stuff. We have at least 4 or 5 different artists right now that are wanting White songs.
They're knocking out the door.
They're knocking out the door, which really is building Wyatt's his resume.
Sure.
And his price of his songs are going up. So it's really a relationship thing.
Right. No, it is. Mm-hmm. We talk about this a lot on the camera, or even just in general, just on the phone as we talk or whatever about things. And there's so many ways to make it in the world, in any profession, but especially like with entertainment. There's really no one right way. You don't have to go to school to do any of this. All you got to do is just know how.
Have the drive to do it.
And the drive to do it. But it's amazing because what makes it so hard, though, is that you don't. There is not a right way to do it.
Yeah, today's technology, you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
I'm actually against the record labels. That's just me personally. I'm not a huge fan of the record labels. What they're doing with the 360 deals, it's really killing the artist's vibe and killing their potential. Because once something becomes, hey, half of what I do belongs to somebody else, that really takes the life out of it. And also, they control the sound. I'm looking for something that's unique, that's never been done before. I like to cross genres. I love that kind of stuff. And finding those artists that break the mold and enhancing that and giving them the tools that's necessary to not only to go against the record labels and to do it themselves. The independent artist is, especially here in Louisiana, has so much power. But a lot of them just give in to the record labels because they see the dollar sign, and then it gets them in the back end. One example, when you get a record deal, they'll give you, say, like $1 million loan, right? Well, that loan is to do your tours, to do the record, but also there's interest, so they're making their money back. So that songwriter may have a number 1 hit, but is in debt. Yep. That's a terrible place to be. You're a successful artist and in debt, and now you have to rely on the record label to feed you.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Start out as a broke musician, end up as a broke musician.
Or you're worse, because then you owe people, because you may not have started out owing anybody money. Maybe you just weren't making money. Now you're broke and you owe people money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is insane, because you think about the tour and the tour buses and all that stuff. You have to pay all that back with interest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it probably don't make sense to go, like, even if you made the money to go buy your own bus, because those things break down. They do all this, and at least if you rent one, most of the time they'll at least get you another one, right?
Yeah.
Send you one out there or something. But if you own it, you don't have. So then you're kind of, dang, you're screwed.
The upkeep.
The reason, actually, Pat Green was really what caught me onto that. for years in the early 90s, he went to Nashville trying to get a record deal, and they all passed on him. He's like, screw this, I'm going to Texas. And he made his career as an independent artist in Texas till I think the mid-2000s, where he finally he found a record label that wanted to work with him, and he had the power.
Mm-hmm. He had to go get his clout, I
yeah,
guess.
You got to get your clout first.
Yeah.
Don't go sign an agreement without having some plan in place.
That's true, which is hard to do. I mean, because look, most people start playing music when they're young, and you're not smart.
You can play in Texas and not even go anywhere else and make a killing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That'd be huge.
Copperhead
music.
Jones is a huge thing. If he keeps doing what he's doing, I think he's going to be a very successful independent artist. The guy does every single day. He knows exactly how to do his social media. The social media is the biggest thing, and the biggest key of all of this is to keep that name recognition. He's a master at it. So I tell everybody, hey, if you want to do that, go check out what Copperhead is doing.
Just kind of mimic what some of these men and women are doing that are having success by themselves.
Absolutely.
See, so some of y'all listeners, if y'all are beginners, y'all know man with wisdom right here, Cameron Myers, is who we're with today at the Honky Talk podcast at the Two Warriors Meadery. Now, we kind of dove into some music. Now let's keep talking about it. Bo, you got anything you want to ask?
Well, I was kind of wondering about these cigars.
So, again, my relationship with Distillery Acadian, Philip, I love cigars. I've been going to Nicaragua twice a year for the past 13 years. And my passion outside of music is cigars. I love the cigar industry. I love the culture. If you ever get a chance to go there, I would love to take y'all. I take people down on trips to go see Esteli, out to the beach. It's super cheap to be there. And the people are so friendly. And I love cigars so much. I've found several blenders that I work with. This cigar I helped blend for the head distiller maker, Philip from Distillery Acadian. He loves cigars and said, hey man, let's do a barrel aged cigar, which has only been done a couple of times and not done correctly. In the bigger, like Pappy Van Winkle, they do their own. And so we developed our own way of doing barrel aged cigars to the point where this sold out the first time I did it. We just released the second batch. It sold out. We have a process of doing barrel-aged cigars that no one else has done before, and I'm very excited about it. I have a call this week with a record label, a record producer, a mogul, Jay Prince, and we're going to talk about making a cigar for him. So yeah, I'm getting different things from different people wanting to do business with me.
Now, how do you sell these cigars? I mean, you could have them in here in the meadery, but how are you getting some of your, I don't know, how does somebody like that learn about your cigars? Is it like
learn
anything
about it,
else?
or if they want to get it.
Or you want to know about them, yeah, or like want to buy them and
sure.
stuff like that.
So if you want to buy that cigar, you can get it at Legends in Ruston. You can get it in Chesterton's and outside in Youngsville, outside of Lafayette. The big thing is finding a distribution company or getting your ATC license and really developing those relationships. It is a relationship game. I don't want to be the biggest in the industry. I just want to have a little small piece of the pie.
Mm-hmm. And you enjoy this
them.
too.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to get out. I mean, this is like a song to you.
It is.
You want to get out in front of people, hey, try what I created, or listen to,
Yeah, the cigar is what created my meadery. The cigar is what created my relationships with several people. The cigar is what is it called?
Holy Grail?
Well, it breaks boundaries because where else can you have a conversation with a senator, a doctor, a plumber? The cigar is a great equalizer. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of my relationships have been built on the cigar.
That's very interesting right there. That was nicely put there, Cameron.
Cigar and a good glass
bourbon,
of scotch.
Bourbon, whatever you want.
Mead.
Yeah, or Mead.
Yeah, or Mead.
So you got people wanting to buy this. Get some cigar. Now, when you said make the cigar, you're talking about making them like their own type of.
Their own type, yeah,
cigar?
their own brand. Build their brand. Get their boxes, everything they want to do. That's really my passion. That's the next step of what I want to do is finding other brands to do barrel aged. The meadery is going to have their own barrel aged cigar. People who drink bourbon, also a lot of them smoke cigars. So you just combine the two. Now you have a huge market.
So when you smoke a cigar, like let's say you're drinking a bourbon or. Mm-hmm. Why is that special to do? Is it like smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer?
Nothing like smoking a cigarette. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. Smoking a cigar, you don't inhale it. It's more of a taste and flavor. There's so many flavor profiles in there. It would blow your mind if I said, hey, you can get chocolate, leather, obviously bourbon, oak, earth, other different spices and stuff. It's a lot like wine. The way it's grown is in different parts of the world and
Elevations and
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Same concept, but I call it a 30-minute vacation because you can relax. Some of the longest living people in the world smoke cigars, and it helps you relax, and you get a nice flavor, and that's all I'm really after is developing something that someone will love.
So you would patch, or you would match with an M. You would match like a cigar and maybe a mead or a scotch or your drink or preference. You would probably, you've experimented enough times to go, that cigar right there is really good with this glass of this.
Sure.
And
matter of fact,
it would happen to enhance
that's
things
great.
like that.
So if I'm building a cigar, I'm talking to my blender. I'm telling him exactly what the flavor profile the bourbon is or whatever it is I'm working with, and he builds that cigar out and gets me samples and lets me taste, hey, this is going to go more along the lines of this, and I could talk on that for hours, but
Right.
it's really just developing that cigar to where it fits the same profile of the bourbon
Gotcha.
or whatever I'm working with.
Because it's kind of like other, liquors or whatever. A lot of times, or wines, or I'm sure meads are the same way. Let's say if you're going to eat chicken, you might want to eat this kind of, or drink this kind of drink. If you're going to eat red meat, you might want this.
Exactly the
Well,
same.
is this kind of the same thing? Maybe this is your chicken,
Yeah. Well, that's actually a steak.
or that's a steak.
That's a steak.
So you would want to match this
Yeah,
with
you
the-
have a lighter tobacco.
Yeah.
So that's a lighter smoke.
Okay.
And whatever tobacco you put in
Well,
it.
see, that's amazing to me. It's the science behind it is
Yeah.
what gets me. That's why I love wines and stuff too. And I've also like this whole mead thing's interesting to me because, well, the science behind it and how you get these different flavors and the experimentations of stuff. They
I
don't
would
just
say
happen.
outside of Cuba, Nicaragua is probably the best cigar in the world.
Wow.
Because of the different elevations and climates and regions, and you can get different types of tobacco. You can get the broadleaf, you can get Connecticut, you can get different Habano, and you blend them together to create a profile that you're looking for.
Wow.
It's a very long conversation, but
Yeah.
but yeah, you can really design your own cigar, and it's endless. It's endless. The Cubans left Cuba during the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the Bay of Pigs, all that stuff, and went to Honduras. They went to Dominican, and then they ended up in Nicaragua, and that's where they found their.
That's what I was going to ask you. Okay, you hit the nail on the head because I was about to ask you about that next. But go ahead.
Yeah, and so the Cubans really created this thing. They went to Nicaragua, found the properties they were looking for, found exactly what different seeds they wanted to. They smuggled out of Cuba. One cigar seed is actually you could fit 1,000 of them in a thimble. So they would actually sew them up in their belts when they escaped Cuba, and they were stealing. Like you would get the death penalty if they caught you.
Wow.
Caught you stealing those tobacco seeds.
I guess because obviously because you're trying to leave. A, and then B. That's it. Cuba. How long has Cuba been? Is that where cigars were first
That's
founded?
the word
Started?
tobacco and cigars all came out of Cuba.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's where Columbus was there in that area getting the tobacco.
Yep.
So tobacco is more of a Native American type.
Yeah, the
thing.
word tobacco or tobacco is what the Native Americans associated with this thing. They were the first to cultivate it. That's why when you see a cigar store Indian, that's why.
Okay.
Because
They're
it
paying
came from
homage
the
to that.
Indians.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
sure.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Well, let's go back to the music thing. So
Sure.
you played guitar, regular guitar, or can you play bass too, or what other instruments can you play?
I dabble. I'm more of a rhythm player, but I do dabble with lead stuff. But I play my Martin when I'm songwriting. Me and my partner with Wyatt, we'll get down and get an acoustic guitar and just get after it.
Right. So I've heard, that you have a pretty good collection of guitars.
Yeah. Again, the oil field. If you want a good guitar collection, the quickest
the
way
oil
to make it is oil field.
That's right.
I started collecting vintage stuff about 12 years ago, and they just come to me now. It's like Joe Bonamassa has like 12 59, or I think over 20 now, 59 Les Pauls. The 1959 Les Pauls, the Holy Grail, is like $350,000 and more and up. And so I kind of watched him and watched how he did it, and I really go out and seek them. And now they kind of come into me. The one I have a 59 Strat, came out of West Monroe. Someone sent me a message saying, "Hey, there's a 59 Strat here in West Monroe." I was like, "No, there's not. There's that rare," but it sure was. And so, like, people send me stuff all the time. I was like, I can't afford another guitar. I just can't afford another one. But a lot of the musicians around here actually will borrow them, and they'll come and say, "Hey, can I take this for this?" Or, I want to use one of your amps or stuff, and I'll happily. I want my guitars being played. So y'all want to borrow a guitar?
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, which
I'll
one
be
should
happy to.
borrow?
I got several. I'll put them on loan.
The sound guy over here.
The sound guy's saying something.
We'll get Trey over here in a minute.
I seen the wheels turning over
You
there.
want to grab that Strat so people can see it?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Yeah, I brought my 59 with me. It came to me in really bad shape. The electronics were gone. And so I put an Eric Johnson pick guard in there with loaded, but it's going to cost me like another $11,000 just to put the electronics in it. I had it refretted at Glazer's in Nashville. And thank you.
And we're not talking about Glazier Distributing. We're talking about...
No. Glazer's is they do frets and stuff and do body work on guitars. So, but yeah, this guitar came out of West Monroe. I call it Swamp Daddy.
Old Swamp Daddy.
Yeah, it was actually in a flood at some point, and so the weight of the guitar is it's actually pretty light, but I think the water somehow got in the wood and it made it magic. You know, it's this thing is one of the best playing guitars I've ever had, best sounding guitars I've ever had, and I will never sell this guitar.
And so somebody just called you. They just said, hey, Cameron, come check this guitar out.
Yeah,
You're like, hey, it's a 1959. You're like, no, like you said, there's not one here.
there's not one here.
So when you saw it, were you like...
Yeah, again, it was in really rough shape, and there was actually other musicians trying to get to it, but they passed, and I was like, this guitar's, I can see the potential, right? Yeah. I see it was just literally the body, no pickups. I looked at it, checked it out, everything met. Brazilian fretboard had hardly been touched at all. I was like, this is going to work. I sent it off. 3 months later, it came back. Don Opperman in Shreveport works on it. He works on all my guitars. If you go to, what is the name of that business? Something with the cars and guitars or something.
Something Field?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Hey, it's on Uri Drive.
Yeah.
Don works on my Martin. I take it to him.
Yeah, you should definitely interview him at some point.
That'd be good. We got to write that down.
Been at everything, but yeah, he's the only person I let touch my guitars, and he told me, I'll tell you, I paid $8,000 for that and a '64 Bandmaster, which is pre-CBS. Anything before 1965 is called that CBS television station bought Fender, and so anything before 1965 is pre-CBS, and they're worth a lot of money.
And you have one of those.
I have several of the amps, and that's my only pre-CBS guitar.
Tell us how you got interested in the gentleman Jock.
Oh, Jaco Pastorius.
Yes.
Jaco Pastorius, he's a famous bass player, jazz guy, influential. He died in the 80s, overdose, I believe. The guy, if you just look up Jaco Pastorius, he's an influential bass player. And I don't play bass, but the dude just created new musical genres. At some point, I was trading guitars and ukuleles and things, and my guy in San Francisco goes, Jaco? And I said, yeah, everybody knows Jaco. He goes, well, you want a 335? I was like, I want a 335. Yeah. He goes, well, Jaco's guitar player just traded in his stuff because he's a flamenco player now. He moved to Spain. He goes, he traded in his electrics. He's like, are you interested in this? It's like, absolutely. And so I bought a guitar sight unseen from San Francisco. It's a 1967 335, all original. And it is an amazing playing guitar. And so I have a guitar that played with Jaco.
Wow. It's just full of all these great stories. Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to take a quick break again. All right. Take a quick break. HonkyTalk podcast here at the Two Warriors Meadery with Brother Cameron Myers, Trey Gotro, Bo Smith, Bo Atkins. Be right back.
All right, guys, let's do a toast, a Viking toast. They say skull.
Skull.
1, 2, 3.
Skull.
Skull. Oh, I think we finished off the bottle here.
Trey did. That's why he's not on camera. He's sick.
Cheers. Or skull.
It's very smooth. There's all different types of.
I'm going to turn into a berserker in a minute.
Ooh.
Yes.
I've always wanted to be on one of those movies. Because I feel like facially I look like some of these people that what we think they are, pictures or drawings or whatever. I always want to be really good at that.
You would be an excellent Viking. We need to get you on a movie with the beard and the hair. I don't have the hair. And I look homeless whenever I grow my beard out.
I could even be the dwarf-looking Vikings, like they have on like what's that movies, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. I get told I look like that guy sometimes, the short guy, or they act like he's really short. All right, anyways, we're back at Two Warriors Meadery here in West Monroe with Cameron Myers. Cameron, thank you for sitting down with us.
Glad to be here.
I mean,
Thank you.
you're talking about a guy, wealth of knowledge, and very friendly guy. And he's told me numerous times, just since we've been here and we've talked on the phone a couple of times, hey, Bo, if y'all need anything, if y'all want to know anything, let me know. I'd love to share my wisdom or even maybe if I can be a helping hand. So it's a great guy, obviously, and we're very thankful and grateful.
Sure. Actually, I want to know the story how you found me.
Oh, okay, real quick.
I like to fly under the radar.
That's what I was told too. So I was on the phone with Zeb Rogers, and we had him on a couple episodes ago, and I was talking to him, and I said we were trying to look for some different people to get on the show, and I said, because I said, Zeb, that we not really trying to always just have somebody that actually play music on the show, but somebody that has businesses in North Louisiana that are doing things in the public that want to book people, that want to have music and entertainment and stuff like that. Those are the people we want to, because they scratch our backs through the years. We want to be able to give them a spotlight for them personally and as their business as well. He goes, man, I got a guy that you need to talk to. And I said, who's that? And he goes, this cat's name's Cameron Myers. I said, well, tell me about him. He said, well, he's kind of this, you said it, he's kind of this under the radar kind of guy, but he's always got his hand in doing something. This guy just likes to do stuff. I mean, he said something about, I think he said something about the meadery. Mm-hmm. Then he said that you'd help White, this cat White, and getting their songs and kind of taking artists and stuff like that. You've done a couple of them, which we learned about that today more in depth. Things like that. And I said, well, also, I said, I would like to get someone like with Carl Malone on here. I think it'd be funny to have us three dudes and then Carl Malone sitting there and him, 8 foot tall looking dude, and here we are, and then have him on the show. And because he owns businesses and he has things that are going. And I was like, I don't even care about asking him about basketball. I just want to ask him about he employs people and he has stuff and he does stuff. I thought it'd be cool. Well, so Zeb sent me your information. So Zeb Rogers, thanks to him.
Thank you, Zeb.
Yeah, and Zeb said something about with Leaf, with the whiskey. I think you'd got him endorsed or was doing something.
Yeah,
with
I did
Leaf.
an endorsement deal for Leaf. He's the first independent artist in Louisiana to get an endorsement deal from a distillery, which I'm now working for the distillery and building their brands.
And then where's that distillery out of?
They're in New Orleans. It's the NOLA Distillery. Their pickle vodka is amazing, by the way. I want to plug that. If I'm going to plug anything, the pickle vodka. I'm a brand director for NOLA Distillery. Thanks, Zeb. Thanks for throwing me into the public eye.
No, he did. And so big thanks to Zeb. So go back with talking about getting people on here that want to be a part of music and want to do things. You'd mentioned here at Two Warriors Meadery that sooner than hopefully later, that y'all want to start having North Louisiana's version of like a Bluebird Cafe type of experience.
Absolutely.
Tell us about it.
So working with Micah. Micah is obviously a great songwriter.
Micah Kennedy, right?
Micah Kennedy,
okay.
Yep. And so we got to talk with Micah, and he goes, I'm traveling to Nashville all this time doing all these songwriter nights and these rounds and all this stuff. And I was like, man, why don't we bring it to Louisiana? Some of the great, they're all traveling to Nashville. Just keep them here and bring the Nashville artists here. Let's make Two Warriors Meadery the Bluebird Cafe of Louisiana. And so that's really the next thing is we're going to have writers' nights in here. We're going to have rounds. We want to tap in all the local artists and get them involved with the actual Nashville writers.
The people who are already in, who've gotten their way in.
Yes, because that's where you're going to get all your contacts and your information that you need to get you to the next level. So that's the next big thing. We're going to have these at least once a month here, and they're traveling from all over, from Nashville, Mississippi, Texas, to come and play. And so we're gonna promote that, and so y'all be looking for that probably in a month or two.
Let me ask you this: so, how many people are you thinking about each round having?
I think Micah said 16.
Okay,
and
one night or one day?
Yeah, it's going to be a one night thing, and this place will hold over 100 people. So come in, we'll have Mead on tap. Have people drinking and having a good time. And I think I don't know how the rounds work, but Micah explained it to me. And I think there's like four songwriters at a time. They all do like 3 or 4 songs. And so, yeah, we're going to do that here. We're going to make North Louisiana the Nashville that it should have been, if you know what happened with Shreveport.
Yeah.
Shreveport should have been Nashville.
Yes.
But we want to make North Louisiana, bring that culture together, and all those great musicians have a platform to play and get to know other actual recording songwriters.
And not, I wouldn't just say just for the novice level either. I mean, you want to have some talent, or you wouldn't be accepted to come and play at this place. Kind of like at the Bluebird. I know that's that may be a big name that people go, oh well, it don't happen overnight, but it can happen just by showing up. People go everywhere to go to music and go see music all from North Louisiana and all that stuff. They go everywhere. if you live around Monroe, Washita Parish area, West Monroe, Monroe, all that, you got the meadery right here, Two Warriors Meadery.
Sure. Listen, North Louisiana is a breeding ground for musicians.
They all leave here and go there.
They leave here. I want to keep them here.
Yeah.
And I want them to get to know other people outside of the industry, outside of here, and build their connections here, starting here, so they don't have to just travel off.
But also, like you said, with brands.
With brands.
Not just music.
Yeah, and that's what I want to
brands
bring. I want to bring brands to these artists and get them endorsement deals and development deals and get them in touch with the people. I want to make them look bigger than what they already are. They really are great musicians, or I wouldn't work with them.
Right. If you didn't see something in them, then you wouldn't be wasting your time.
Exactly.
Well, big thanks to you, Cameron. I think what you're doing is great.
Thank you.
Bo, you got anything? Any last things?
Sorry I didn't talk very much to you, Bo.
That's all right, man. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that for the artist and that songwriting deal. That'll be a fun time.
Yeah. I want you all involved with that as well.
Oh,
We'll be here.
We'll be here, and like I say, we're here at the Two Warriors Meadery right here in West Monroe, Louisiana. So come and stop by, knock on the door if you don't think nobody's here or something. But on Saturdays,
Thursday through Saturdays we're open.
Every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday they're open. What time you open?
Thursday and Friday we open at 12 to 5. 12 to 5
Okay.
or 6. Yeah, and then on Saturday we're open 10 to 7.
Now, Cameron, how they find you?
Two Warriors Meadery is on Facebook. TwoWarriorsMeadery.com. If you want to find me, I'm on the Facebook too. Cameron Myers. Everybody calls me Hoss, by the way.
Well, you look like a hoss.
Yeah. So, yeah. Everybody calls me Hoss, so you can find me on Facebook.
He
I'm tapped into pretty much every local artist.
He could crush me like a weddum. Braveheart.
Well, thank y'all for having me. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Thanks for pulling me into the spotlight.
Come on, you're welcome anytime. Well, I guess that'll wrap it up. Happy Monday to all of you. God bless you. Thank you, Vet. Thank you, Cameron.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Bo,
it.
Brother Trey. Honky Talk Podcast brought to you by the Sundown Tavern in Ruston, Louisiana. Today we're here at the Two Warriors Meadery. Honky Talk
Podcast. It's Honkies with a Kick.
Honkies with a Kick.